Embarking on a journey of spiritual growth is like setting sail on a vast and uncharted ocean. It's a path filled with wonder, discovery, and moments that challenge us to rise above who we were yesterday. Along the way, we're bound to face obstacles, inner doubts, past wounds, and the pressures of daily life. But each challenge is an opportunity to deepen our strength, wisdom, and connection to something greater. In this exploration, we'll take a compassionate look at the common barriers to spiritual growth and learn how to move through them with courage and clarity. Spiritual awakening is a powerful journey, and like any meaningful path, it comes with its share of challenges. As we grow, we face roadblocks that stretch us, test our strength, and push us beyond our comfort zones. But it's in these very moments of struggle that transformation happens. Each obstacle is not the end of the road, but a stepping stone toward deeper clarity, purpose, and inner peace. Together, we'll explore these challenges and uncover how to rise above them, stronger, wiser, and more awakened than ever. On the path of spiritual growth, we come to truly know ourselves and awaken to our full potential. But this journey isn't always easy. There are obstacles that can slow us down or make us feel stuck. In this guide, we'll explore the common challenges that can hold us back, like negative thinking, attachment to material things, and the illusions that cloud our vision. Most importantly, we'll learn how to face these challenges with grace, strength, and wisdom, so we can keep moving forward with clarity and purpose. Each challenge on the spiritual path, whether it be the ego, fear, or any trial we face, is a divine opportunity to grow and awaken to the presence of God within. In every moment of struggle, we are called to seek His guidance, trusting that He has placed each difficulty before us to refine our soul. These challenges are not obstacles, but rather sacred invitations to draw closer to His love and wisdom. As we journey within, may we find the courage, not from our own strength, but from God's infinite grace, to confront our fears and doubts. May His divine light illuminate the darkest corners of our hearts, dispelling the shadows that seek to keep us from His peace. Let us remember that fear is but an illusion, for God's perfect love casts out all fear. With unwavering faith, may we draw upon His strength, knowing that He walks with us every step of the way, even in the moments when we feel weak. His presence is the pillar that upholds us, His mercy, the gentle hand that steadies us. And in every step of our journey, may we embrace the path with an open heart, willing to receive the wisdom He offers through each experience. As we surrender to His will, may we discover the depth of His purpose for our lives, understanding that every trial is a lesson in divine love, and every hardship an invitation to grow more like Him. Let us walk forward with hearts full of gratitude, trusting that each moment is a chance to become more attuned to God's eternal presence and grace. In every trial, may we rise, strengthened by His love, and awakened to the infinite possibility of His kingdom within us. Begin this journey with an open heart and a willing spirit. Before we dive in, be sure to subscribe and tap the notification bell for more soul-nourishing content. Now, let's explore the 5 key roadblocks that can hold you back on your spiritual path, starting with negative thinking and facing your inner shadows. Negative thinking is a quiet shadow within, dimming our light and weighing down the soul. Born from the ego's voice of fear and self-doubt, it whispers that we're not enough. But these thoughts aren't truth. They're wounds waiting to be healed. Negative thinking can quietly hold us back, like chains that bind the soul, draining our confidence and veiling the divine potential God has placed within us. These dark thoughts, rooted in fear and doubt, often obscure the radiant truth of who we are in God's eyes. To rise above them, we must first recognize these patterns, not with condemnation, but with the grace of self-awareness and the courage to confront them with honesty. When we bring these thoughts to light, we are not merely facing them with our own strength, but with the strength of God's love and truth. Through prayer and reflection, we can ask for His guidance to see ourselves as He sees us, perfectly loved, uniquely created, and empowered with His Spirit. As we acknowledge these negative thoughts, we invite His light into the dark places within, allowing His presence to heal and transform us. With a heart open to His will, we can choose to replace the lies of negativity with the truth of His promises. When the voice of doubt whispers that we are unworthy or incapable, we must remember that God does not call the equipped, but equips the called. He has placed within us everything we need to fulfill His purpose for our lives, and we can trust that He will provide the strength and wisdom we require to overcome any obstacle. As we stand in His presence, let us pray for the courage to shine His light into every shadowed corner of our minds. In doing so, we not only free ourselves from the limitations of negative thinking, but we also become more aligned with the boundless potential He has given us. Through His grace, we are continually transformed, rising above the noise of self-doubt, to live in the fullness of His love and divine purpose. In every moment, may we remember that with God's strength, we can overcome all things. May His peace replace our fear, His truth dispel our confusion, and His love restore our hearts to their rightful place in His divine plan. By shining the light of awareness into our deepest fears and insecurities, we can break free from their grip. Through mindfulness and self-inquiry, we learn to witness our thoughts without judgment, realizing we are not defined by them. As we embrace this awareness, we begin to question the truth behind our negative beliefs, replacing them with empowering truths. Through self-compassion, we learn to treat ourselves with the kindness and understanding we deserve, unlocking our true potential. By reframing our thoughts and focusing on the positive, we break free from negativity and step into our full potential. Letting go of material attachment frees us to live authentically, embracing the abundance of what truly matters. Another major obstacle on the spiritual path is our attachment to material possessions. In a world that glorifies wealth and consumerism, it's easy to fall into the illusion that more things will bring us lasting happiness. True fulfillment lies not in what we own, but in what we become. True fulfillment comes from within, not from possessions. Spiritual teachings remind us that lasting peace and contentment arise when we realize our worth isn't tied to what we own, but to who we are at our core. We often tie our worth to what we own, believing more possessions equal more value. This mindset traps us in an endless cycle of seeking. Yet no matter how much we gain, the satisfaction is always temporary. True fulfillment comes from within, not from what we accumulate. To break free from this trap, we must embrace detachment, recognizing that our worth isn't defined by what we own. This doesn't mean abandoning all possessions, but learning to live with them rather than being controlled by them. True freedom comes from within, not from accumulation. It's about creating a balanced relationship with the material world, enjoying what we have without clinging to it. Practices like gratitude and generosity foster a sense of true abundance, filling us with fulfillment that possessions never can. By shifting our focus from what we lack to what we have, we tap into deeper joy and fulfillment. Letting go of attachment frees us to embrace life's simple pleasures and live with a light, liberated heart. By letting go of attachment, we unlock a deeper sense of fulfillment and purpose that transcends material things. At the core of many spiritual teachings is the ego, our false sense of separation from one another and the world. Through awareness, we dissolve this illusion and connect to our true, interconnected self. The ego is the voice of separation, fear, and limitation, constantly comparing and competing to feel superior. Yet, despite its noise and bravado, the ego is fragile, built on illusions that keep us from embracing our true, interconnected nature. The ego is a fragile, insecure illusion, convincing us we're separate and must compete for resources and recognition. This false sense of separation breeds fear and mistrust, keeping us from experiencing our true, interconnected selves. The ego shapes our thoughts, feelings, and actions. But to transcend it, we must look beyond our surface identity and uncover our true essence. Through meditation and self-inquiry, we begin to dissolve the illusion of separation and reconnect with our deeper truth. As we deepen our self-awareness, we discover that we are all interconnected, part of a vast web of life. This realization sparks a profound sense of compassion and empathy, helping us see the unity in all beings. Recognizing our interconnectedness reveals the inherent worth in all beings and frees us from seeking external validation. As we embrace our wholeness, we can overcome obstacles through profound inner transformation, navigating the spiritual path with strength and clarity. True transformation is a sacred journey, one that begins not merely with external change, but with a divine shift in consciousness. It is the soul awakening to God's higher calling, releasing the chains of old beliefs, worldly attachments, and limiting patterns that no longer serve His purpose for our lives. To walk in true transformation is to surrender wholly to the will of the Almighty, trusting that His plans are higher than our understanding. It demands a holy courage, the kind born not of human strength, but of faith, rooted in God's eternal promises. It is the courage to confront our inner shadows, the broken places we hide, and allow the light of Christ to enter, heal, and redeem. Perseverance is required, for the path is not always easy. There will be trials, tests, and refining fires. Yet through it all, God walks with us, shaping us into vessels of His glory. Each step taken in obedience brings us closer to the likeness of Christ, transforming us from glory to glory. To be truly transformed is to become who God always intended us to be, free, whole, and radiant in His love. It is to rise into our divine identity, no longer bound by fear, but clothed in righteousness, walking boldly in the purpose for which we were created. Self-awareness is the divine light that illuminates the soul, revealing the sacred path within. It is through the grace of introspection that we come to know ourselves, recognizing the divine spark that dwells in our hearts. To be truly aware is to stand before the Almighty in humility, shedding the old false identities and embracing the purity of our true essence. This journey is not merely a mental awakening, but a spiritual rebirth, where the soul casts off the weight of worldly illusions. As we shed the layers of pride, fear, and ignorance, we awaken to the boundless love and wisdom that have always resided within us, waiting to be revealed. In this state of inner awakening, we align ourselves with the divine will, opening our hearts to the deep beauty and holiness that flow from God's eternal presence. It is through this sacred process of self-awareness that we become vessels of divine truth and love, ready to reflect the light of the Creator in all our thoughts, words, and deeds. As we journey toward the fullness of our true nature, we are transformed, not by our own efforts alone, but by the grace of God who guides us, strengthens us, and empowers us to embrace the divine potential within. The path is long, but every step taken in awareness brings us closer to the eternal peace and joy that flow from communion with the divine. By tuning into our thoughts, feelings, and actions, we unlock the power to reshape our lives. Cultivating self-awareness helps us dismantle limiting beliefs and patterns, guiding us toward a more authentic and fulfilling existence. Mindfulness and meditation ground us in the present moment, silencing mental noise. With consistent practice, we can observe our thoughts and emotions without being controlled by them, unlocking profound self-insight. By uncovering the root of our suffering, we gain clarity and discernment, learning to separate the ego's voice from our higher self. As self-awareness deepens, we realize we are not defined by our thoughts. Thanks for joining this transformative journey. If something resonated with you, share the insight. Like, share, and hit subscribe to keep exploring with us.